What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, we're still pumping out 3 videos a week right now. I can't believe we've done it all year, but we've made it this far into November. I think we've only missed one day this entire year to keep up with our 3 videos a week. But yeah, we're pumping out 3 videos a week right now, so I don't want you guys to miss out on any future content, so make sure you're subscribed. Today we're talking about November bass fishing and the best baits to throw in November. You know, November is a tricky time of year. I mean, it's on the brink of winter in some parts of the world, country. Here in Tennessee, it's some really good fishing. You know, the weather has just started to cool off here this year. It was a pretty warm September, October, so it's really just starting to cool off here. And I think the fish are going to be biting. So I'm going to run through a few of my favorite baits for the month of November. And yeah, hopefully you guys can learn something from this video. So make sure to drop in the comments below what your thoughts are on the baits for November and what you guys like to throw in November. But if you guys are ready, let's jump in and let's talk about November bass fishing. All right, like I mentioned, you know, November can be some really good fishing. You know, really you got a lot of your outdoorsmen, a lot of the guys that fish most of the year are focused on hunting this time of year. So really you could get out on the lake and have it all to yourself. So November is a great time to go fishing and not see anybody. You'd be out there all by yourself, have all the water you want, and you can really catch a bunch of fish. You know, a lot of parts of the country, the bass are feeding up for winter. You know, they're trying to bulk up before the really cold stuff gets here, and they're just gorging themselves on shad. So number one choice for me in the month of November, you know, it's not necessarily a tournament bait, but this is for just catching fish in November, and that is a Alabama rig. I got them all tangled up now. The Alabama rig. So we're about to actually film a video right after this with a kind of a deep dive into all about Alabama rig fishing. So if you guys want to learn more about throwing an Alabama rig, stay tuned for another video coming real soon where I'm going to really dive into the intricacies of throwing an Alabama rig. But this right here, this is my number one choice for the month of November. You can't go wrong with this. Like I said, they're feeding in on those bait fish. So this is a, you know, it's a big profile bait. It imitates a bunch of shad. I mean, you got all these blades and swim baits on here, so it imitates a whole school of bait fish and really triggers some fish to bite. And you know, a lot of times you can catch more than one at the same time. So it's really good bait for the month of November. You can just cast and wind this, cover water, fish it any type of structure. You know, you can adjust your weight size, your line size, your swim bait size. You can adjust everything on there, and that's kind of what we're going to dive into that other video. But number one choice for November is the A-rig. All right, number two choice for November is going to be essentially just a small A-rig, the OG small little A-rig, and that's a spinnerbait. So this acts very similar. You know, it's got the blades that flash, imitates, you know, multiple small bait fish in one little profile. But this is going to be for more your tight cover. So if you're fishing real tight cover around wood, docks, you know, even into some grass, that's when I like to throw the spinnerbait over the A-rig, because the A-rig is going to get hung up. So that's when you kind of follow up with the spinnerbait in the tighter cover. And you know, just the same thing. You just kind of cast and wind him. You can pump him a little bit with your rod tip, but you know, really it's quite simple. You cast and wind, and those fish are chasing those bait fish, so they're going to move a long ways and eat the spinnerbait. Almost hooked myself right there, but spinnerbait, number two choice for the month of November. Next up, you guys have heard me talk about this bait all fall, and it continues on into November. And that is the little Rattle Trap. This is the 1/4 ounce Rattle Trap. Man, you can see he's a little beat up. If you go back and watch the first video I talked about him, he's probably brand new, and now he's been tied on for the last few months, and he's caught me a lot of fish here lately. He's all chewed up. But it continues on into November. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it continues on into the month of November with the Rattle Trap. This is for all types of cover. You know, you can fish him on flatter gravel banks. You know, as some of the lakes draw down into the winter, November is a month that a lot of the lakes start drawing down. You know, you get just kind of some exposed back of the pockets where it's just kind of a slow tapering gravel bottom, or you know, maybe there's some stumps mixed around, or if you're still fishing grass, the Rattle Trap's an excellent bait to just cover water and all those things. And you kind of notice a theme here with all these baits. It's really about covering water because you're looking to find that group of fish. And once you find that group of fish, you can catch a lot of fish in one area, but you have to cover a bunch of water around the lake to find those. And that's kind of what these baits do well here, is just cover water and help you locate those groups of fish that you can catch a bunch of fish. And then, like I said, typically in November, you're gonna have them to yourself because a lot of guys are out hunting. They're not out on the water, so you're gonna have it to yourself. But those right there, those are 3 baits to try in the month of November. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video as always. Leave me all those likes and comments down below. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.